Hello everyone and welcome to our channel.
Welcome to the channel.
It is your local tea and your friendly neighborhood A. That's
Welcome.
new. I wanted to do something new.
It's a good one. We're doing something we haven't done in a while. We're doing a nice little coffee chat.
The coffee's off camera. We'll pick it up when we want to. Don't tell us what to do.
Recently, Alicia and I have discovered what our
Wash my
cheersing thing
face.
is.
My face is tight.
You
Sorry.
put some moisturizer on.
No, I feel like moisturizer makes my skin really oily. Like, what's my secret? I don't fucking moisturize.
You should put a little bit of moisturizer
No.
on under your eyes and stuff because that's what gives you premature wrinkles.
I'm mixed. I'm good.
Yeah.
Today,
This was your idea, and it took us a while. It took me a while to figure out
when you're an adult, you do adult things, but sometimes you regress into an asshole. So today we're going to talk about some of our cringiest moments.
things that we have done that have later we have gone, what the fuck?
You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you go, why did I do that?
And you still think about it. Like, it's so cringy that you, like...
But like we've said previously, like nobody laughs harder at us than us.
That is true.
So I have told almost everybody that I know my cringy story, but I
Do you
need
only
your
have
phone.
one story?
No, I have two.
Oh, okay.
But I've told everybody, but I haven't told the audio.
My one that just made me go like, this is a really sad. We just kind of want to warm you guys up, I guess. So I was in class and we were talking about grammar and we were talking about the development of language and different types of dialects of English all throughout the country, and just it was a really good class. And I said I said, oh, I was like, language is in constant flux, it's constantly changing. And I was like, I was like 10 years ago Google wasn't a word, and I was like, that's not true. I was like, Google was definitely a word 10 years ago. I mean, I think just recently maybe it has been recognized, but it's definitely more 20 years ago. I just felt really, because everybody went, and I was like, I'm stupid. I was like, I sounded so smart to start it, and then I sounded stupid.
But I'm not judging you off that because I still think 1999 was 10 years ago.
I know, that's how I felt. I felt like it was...
But how long has Google been a word? A long time.
Well, I think it's just been recently recognized, officially in a dictionary, as a word, within the last 5 years, but people have been using it.
Google it.
Google it, yeah, I'll have to Google that.
So I went to see I, Tonya. I went to the movies by myself because that's really fun to do sometimes. You just go by yourself. So there is an older theater called
Tower Theater.
Tower Theater, where they play a lot of the independent movies or just movies that aren't Transformers, the things that everybody wants to see. Sorry. So I go.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Anything that's not a Michael Bay movie, they play at Tower Theater. Anyway, so I go, or I'm planning out what time I want to go because I just don't want to sit there, because a lot of the times it's very artistic films that are there. So the times that we've gone, we're the only people in the theater.
Yeah, or there'll be a couple people in the theater, nothing.
So I'm planning my time right, and because I don't want to sit in the theater for hella long and just play on my phone. So I get there a little bit later, and the line is down the street and around the corner to see the new movies. It was The Shape of Water, I, Tonya, all the movies there was
Lady Bird.
Yeah, Lady Bird. There was 3 major
Oscar-worthy movies out that everyone was going to go see.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, I have never seen a line this long. So I get in line, and I'm like, oh god, I have 15 minutes to get there, and I am 50 people deep. I'm like, there's no way that person is gonna go fast enough. I'm tripping, right? And I'm looking around, and so we start talking in the little group that I'm around in line, and I was like, well, what are you here to see? And we're like, well, we're here to see The Shape of Water. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe not everybody's here to see I, Tonya. They're gonna run out of tickets. I'm just kicking myself for being so late, not thinking that 1 million people were gonna come to see this. And so this guy makes his announcement, and he's like, anybody with Fandango can just come to the front of the line. And I was like, sweet. So I go on my phone and I start downloading the Fandango app, just hoping that I can get there fast enough. This lady behind me she's like, shit, my phone just died. And I was like, okay. So I get the tickets, whatever else like that. Okay, I want to say that as an adult, my first thought was, I should buy her ticket. And then we can walk into this theater together. But then my other thought was, what if she doesn't have cash? I'm not that nice. Like, I'm a struggling student. And then, so instead of just walking ahead to the thing for them to scan my phone, I could have left it at that. I got the tickets, I could have taken it away. I went, aww, and walked to the front of the line. And then I didn't realize it. I sit in my seat, and couldn't get popcorn because that line was too long. So I did suffer with nothing. No drink, no popcorn, no water, nothing. And I'm sitting there, and it's like the second trailer, and I went, why did I do that? That was so rude. I hate myself for it. I think about it every other day. I'm sorry, lady. I should have bought your ticket. I shouldn't have been a giant fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
But I took the ass. Like, when I called my dad and I told him, like,
No.
right after the movie, my dad was like, it wasn't that you bought your ticket. It was that you had to turn around
Yeah.
and shove it in her face.
No, when Alicia told me when she got home, she's like, you're not gonna believe what I did. And I was like,
I was embarrassed.
I was like, what? And then she tells me, and I was like, you dick. I was like, she was like,
So
I know.
rude. I told everybody because it's really awful, and I just want people to know that that's not usually the human that I am. But that day it was.
So occasionally though, this awful person takes control of you. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, it's me. Occasionally our alter ego takes over. So Alicia was like, oh, and that's when we got the idea. Alicia's like, we should totally do a cringy moment like video. Was after that happened, and I was like, oh, I was like, I can't really think of any cringy moments. Like, I couldn't really think of any. And then that day, we were going out to the bars because it was Alicia's birthday. And we were like, oh, let's all get a drink.
We went to this really cool bar called Blue Q.
Yeah, it was all
really
upstairs
cool.
and like really cool.
And blue.
I was talking to everybody. We're like around this little table and we're like talking. And then I see this guy walk by who I went to high school with, and I was friends with in high school. And he looked at me and we both went, hey! And okay, last time I saw him was probably about...
So wait, hold on. The whole group is watching this interaction.
Yeah,
right?
everyone
There's like
can see
4 or
this.
5 of us are just like hanging out watching Thea like say hello to her high school buddy.
And last time I saw him was probably about two years ago, and he had just got married. And I'd never met his wife, and I'd seen pictures of her though, but I'd never met his wife. And he walked up, and that was the last thing I'd ever heard, last thing I ever saw. Like, I follow him on a bunch of Instagram and stuff, so I don't know, but
Should we reenact it?
yeah, sure. Oh my God, hi, Dom. It's so good to see you. Oh my God, is your wife here? Literally, like, no ring, and he
Like,
went,
that's what and we all went,
I was like, fuck.
Because I'm
Oh my
also
God.
still an awful person. I thought, oh God, did she die? Like, I thought of the worst cringy
I was like,
moment.
oh my God, I was like, I am so sorry. And he was like, it's okay. And I was like,
She
did not know what to do.
He walked away and we all went,
I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm the worst. And then Alicia was like, there's your cringy moment. I was like,
Is that?
yeah, you did. There's
I don't
another one.
recall saying it like that, but since we're talking about cringe, I probably did.
Do you have any other ones?
I do have one more.
I have-
itching my nose because it's so dry.
I
Sorry.
do have one more too that made me, I just was like, why the fuck did I say that?
Okay, so I'm taking a deaf culture class, and there's no prerequisites. It means you don't have to have you don't have to have any previous sign language knowledge. So I'm in the deaf culture class. I'm now in sign 3, so I know enough sign language.
Super triple douchebag. JK.
So I know enough sign language to understand almost everything that somebody's saying. Like, there's a few like more sophisticated signs that I just don't understand. I'm just not at that level yet. So we go into the culture class, and there are interpreters there because the teacher is deaf. And so then they do what they do, and I'm trying I really, really want to be skilled and fluent. So I'm trying really hard to only focus on the teacher and really just like retain what she's saying. So that class is over. It was a brilliant class, whatever. So I go to my Sign 3 class, and 2 girls that I have the deaf culture class with, I also have Sign 3 with. So we sit down, and I like to sit in the very front because I'm that douchey student.
Oh, I sit in the front.
To soak it all in. I just want all that knowledge.
I sit in the front too.
So, but there's 2 people sitting in front of me, there's 2 people sitting in the very front, so I just sit one behind. And then the girl that I have, the deaf culture class, sits right here. And I'm an idiot because on the first day of every sign class, there are interpreters. So there's 2 interpreters sitting in front of me, but I am an idiot and I don't realize, just coming from another class where they sit in front, that's who's sitting in front. So I'm sitting with the girl next to me, and I'll tell you what I said, and then I'll elaborate on what I meant. I was like, the deaf culture class was like really cool. And I was like, it sucks that there's going to be interpreters there all the time now. It's like a little annoying. There's 2 interpreters sitting right in front, and they both look at each other and go. And then I could have left it alone, or I could have continued to elaborate so they would understand that I didn't mean to be offensive. But instead I panicked and went, not you guys! So what I meant was, it's difficult when you have a certain level of sign language to want to interpret for yourself, in your head and really retain everything that the teacher's saying, but then you have the interpreters. And so when you're interpreting for yourself and the interpreter says something a little bit different, because there's different words for the same sign, like you can use, I don't know, just like a better word or a lesser word. I'm using the more simple words because that's what I know. And so it's very hard to concentrate because I can't tune out the interpreters. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying really hard because I just wanted to be good. That's all I meant, was that I really want to work on my skills, and I'm sad that in that class, the interpreters will be there all the time, so I'll just have to focus a little bit more. That's all I meant. I didn't mean that the interpreters suck or anything. But only hearing the first part of it, it was very cringy. And I just looked at her, and she was like, her whole face was red, and she was like almost crying. She was laughing so hard.
Oops.
I am the worst.
So another really like worst moment of mine that I thought of after we kind of like, after I did the whole awful wedding, he's not married anymore thing. So if you guys don't know, there's a show called How I Met Your Mother, and there's a character who's like typically like framed as like a womanizer, Barney, but he is one of the most like beloved characters because he does have some really great qualities about him, but he sleeps with like all these different women and does all these different like tricks to sleep with women, all this kind of stuff. And I have this really old friend of mine named Berto. And he comes into my bar sometimes and like whatever, like brings a date or something like that. And it's always been like whatever though, but Berto and I have always been like friends, like all this stuff. And then the girl that he was with at the time, this is probably like 2 years ago, the girl that he was with at the time, she was like, oh, I love How I Met Your Mother. And like they wanted me to, I was like talking in the conversation, and Berto was like, he's like, oh, I love How I Met Your Mother too. And they're like kind of talking about it. And then I walked away, and then I came back, and I could see that they're like talking, like debating something. And then Berto was like, Thea, like, wouldn't you say I'm just like Ted? And I was like, no. I was like, I think you're a lot like Barney, man. And I was like, why did I say that? Berto looked at me, his face, he was like, bitch, like, thanks. And like the girl, like her face, she was so like, I never saw her again. I ruined this date for him.
Let's be real though, like there weren't many that you were gonna see again with Berto.
I know, but I feel bad that I ruined that date. Like I felt so bad. He's never brought another girl into the bar.
Oh, that is funny.
I'm the worst.
Okay, but Berto, nobody wants to be like Ted. Everybody wants to be Marshall. Like if you're trying to like seal the deal, you say I'm a Marshall, not I'm a fucking Ted Mosby. Come on.
She has a point, Berto.
You don't want to be Ted Mosby. Like, he's the worst.
No, but I am the worst. I can't believe I said that. I was like, no, you're not more like Barney. And I was like,
what you're saying is you're Lily.
But I meant, yeah, I was Lily. I was Lily. I was the worst. Because I said, I meant it though. I meant it though because Berto always suits up. He dresses really good. Like, he suits up. I did not mean it like he's an awful like womanizer. I did not mean it like that, and I came out that way, and I felt awful.
Your cringy moments are just more like embarrassing. My cringy moments are like low human moments where I just like forgot that I was like a functioning member of society and turned into like a hell beast.
I feel like I have those moments too, but I just can't remember. I just can't recall them. I must have blocked them all out. I was like, no, I won't deal with that. But anyways, those are our cringiest moments. Please.
We would love to hear some of yours.
Yes, we really want to hear some of your cringy moments. Make us feel a little better about ourselves. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next week for another very special... Well, I don't know what we're doing next week.
I know. I was like, what are we doing next week?
I don't remember. I think it's a challenge, but I don't remember.
Challenge accepted.